It's time for Rick Grimes to pull out the machete because he's going to paint the walls red. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Entertainment. It's time for The Walking Dead. 4 walls and a roof. And not only did Rick Grimes prove that he keeps his promises in this episode, but he also shows that he's a pretty good painter by decorating the church of all places with the colour red of all the hunters.
Yes, not one wall, not one roof was left unscathed by the blood of the hunters. We also had a bit of tainted meat on the side, didn't we?
I think when Gather
your Gabriels.
I think when Father Gabriel asked for some decoration to be done to his church, this isn't quite what he had in mind, but I guess Rick Grimes didn't charge him any money. It was free of charge. The only thing it cost was the life of Gareth, Martin, and whatever other red shirts they added to this crew. For episode 3, literally just brought in a bunch of hunters so they could get slaughtered in church.
Well, if they were wearing white or blue shirts, they're now red because there's blood all over them. But let's talk about Bob's big manky stump, because that's what got caught up last episode and they're now feasting away at it. But Bob, he's beginning to laugh, isn't he? Did somebody say just eat?
I mean, surely, is this not enough to turn you vegan or vegetarian or something? If you can't get your hands on some good old cows or pigs, then is it not time just to accept that, you know what, there's probably oatmeal or, I don't know, nuts or something, or doki leaves we can
Maybe Gareth
share?
just doesn't want to be a wee lefty liberal piece of shit.
Yeah, but you look at Gareth and he is kind of small
Liberal?
and he is kind of skinny. You'd think this is a guy that would take up the vegan lifestyle. He doesn't necessarily look like a big red meat eater to me, but...
No, he doesn't. He's a black meat eater.
No, he did mention the fact that people taste differently, and he says Bob tastes pretty good, yet they expect that Bob to taste like shite. I wonder what gave them that conclusion. He also asked Bob that, or told Bob, should I say, that he was wondering what Sasha would taste like as well, which kind of pissed Bob off a wee bit, and I can kind of understand that. And at this point, Bob is laughing, and he has the last laugh, I guess, and he's like, yeah, you know what, you might be eating me, but you don't know what you're eating. And we get the whole tainted meat outburst for Bob, and at this point, Gareth is shocked. Everyone in Gareth's group is throwing up, and they're kind of confused and probably worried and scared at the same time because they don't know what this means. Does eating a bitten person necessarily mean you're going to turn into a walker? I'm not sure, but the majority of these people aren't taking chances or vomiting. And really, would that be enough to make you vomit? Find that someone's shouting tainted meat. Is that going to make you vomit in 0.2 seconds? I don't know. But everyone here literally threw up their food.
No, I'm sorry. If you're willing to eat people, I don't think the fact that you ate someone who was bitten is going to make you vomit. Would you agree with that?
I think it's more that vomiting out of fear that they could be about to turn. But I'm just not buying it because, I mean, surely if eating tainted meat is enough to make you turn, then is getting blood on you, is that not enough to make you turn? It's like kind of the same shit, isn't it?
Aye, and also when you cook things, it kind of kills whatever inside it. You see with chicken, when you cook it, you know, if you don't cook chicken and you eat it, well, it's good night.
I don't know, Gareth's a bit of a freak. He probably likes it raw.
I like chicken raw, but it's time to look for some Bobby boy. Bob is in the house. Well, he's not quite in the house, he's laughing.
Bob the Builder, can he build a new leg? Probably not.
He could have done with Herschel. They could have done with Herschel's body.
Do you reckon they could have combined Bob and Herschel by the hip? And they could have just had them like...
Three-legged race?
Well, it'll still be 2 legs, would it not?
No, it'll be 3 legs.
How?
Because it'd be a third leg joining. That's
I know, but they still have a boot. It's no foot.
Well, Herschel's boot. Just sellotape them together, no?
No.
Like an Oreo? No, does that not work?
No.
Right, anyway. Sasha's not happy here. She's looking about for Bob. Rick and Tyrese appear out of nowhere. It's like, we're missing 2 other people. We're missing Carol and Daryl. So they think Carol and Daryl have actually been took by the hunters.
You know, no, I don't get. See, at this stage, like, there's a big manhunt for Bob. Everyone's worried about Bob. Rick just does what Rick does and attempts to blame Father Gabriel, even though, because he's been getting the blame for a lot of this shit. They just don't trust Father Gabriel, even though the guy hasn't done anything apart from be pathetic. But Eugene's pathetic. No one questions him, so I don't quite get it. And then it's like, I just, like, there's a big search here for Bob, but is Bob any more important to the group than David and Karen were?
Yeah, you're led to believe.
Especially Karen. You're led to believe that Bob is like the main offender here. Bob's the fucking heart and soul of this group. But David and Karen were just cannon feeder. Or cannon fodder even.
Feeder.
You know, to cannon fodder to for Carol. It's like, I just don't get it. I mean, why?
No, right, so Tyrese is going it with Karen, right? Sasha's going it with Bob. So what's the fucking difference?
But, for me, Bob's just a guy that's hanging on.
Aye.
He's someone that was like, you were with us, so you can tag along, but when you die, we're not going to care. He's like the odd man out.
No, of course he is.
He's probably the least important member of the group. See if Negan had to stop them right now, I reckon Rick would just sacrifice Bob. None of this eeny, meeny, miny, mo pish. He'd be like, nah, just take this guy. We don't care about him. He always says about how he's the last person to survive the group, so fuck him.
Fuck Bob. He's a bad omen.
But for some reason, we're led to... They pretend that Bob's this like guy that must be saved at all costs, and they try and find him. They do their best.
Gabriel does admit here that he's left people to die outside his church, and that's what he's sinned for. That's the only thing he's done, though. And then as this happens...
Is that as bad as killing someone?
It's not, but it's shite bag, like.
Yeah, but that church is technically his house.
Yeah, true. It's his property. No, you can. No,
hold on, Herschel didn't want anybody in his farm.
If Terminus did the same, they wouldn't have all ended up getting killed and raped. So I mean, it's shite baggy, yes, but
wait, hold on. Did Rick not? Rick was willing to turn Michonne away from the prison.
No, but see in this world...
No, why are we pretending like Father Gabriel's the only guy that has turned people away?
I know, but he would have did it in shite bag terms. Rick's like, you're not fucking coming in here. He'd have started crying and hid in the corner. So, I mean, Billy Mitchell and the Shaw, there's a big difference to this game.
So, what, because Rick demands people walk away and Father Gabriel just hides, Father Gabriel's worse than Rick?
I think so, yeah. I think it's a bit more embarrassing. I think it's pathetic for Gabriel.
Hold on, did Rick not turn that guy away with the backpack? He was desperate for help. Then he was found dead. That's no different from what Father Gabriel said.
Rick didn't duck in the car and start crying as he drove past him, did he? And put the doors on the child.
So that makes Rick better.
I think it does, aye. That's my logic.
On what planet? They both left people to die.
Aye, but there's a manner you can do it in, no? Right, anyway, let's talk about Bob, because Glenn says there's a black man on the porch with one leg, and it's not Herschel. It's covered in chocolate sauce, it's Bob. So everyone gets outside and Bob's lying there. Pants pished.
Not good, like.
No, it's not good. They're all raging that his leg's gone, and then there's A written on the side of the church, so this ain't good news. Inside the church, though, they're like, oh, we've got to get Bob some paracetamol, some aspirin.
Here, do you think, off topic, do you think Herschel was racist?
No, he was alright with Glenn, wasn't he?
I know, but was he not a wee bit?
Nah, maybe.
Funny thing is, see if Otis didn't put all the walkers in the barn, would Herschel have made T-Dog sleep in it?
It's very true, isn't it? Out the way you came. But what else happens here? We've got Bob regaining consciousness. He explains that Gareth and other Terminus survivors have kidnapped him. They're eating my leg, man. They said it tasted good. Glenn then reminds everyone that Jim survived 2 days as the big Bob bite is revealed, and that he can survive possibly for 2 more days. Optimistic for Glenn.
What's the point, though? So what? 2 days? What are you going to do in that?
No, I think
find a cure.
True, but
yo, why didn't they just say to Eugene, yo, fix this, man?
Yeah.
Hot no, if Eugene can solve things, shouldn't Eugene be able to, I don't know, do something with bikes?
No, but he's smart. Like, why has no one asked him, like, what would your course of action be to, like, turning this infection around?
Or, slow down the infection?
Yeah. Like, if he can stop it worldwide, I'm sure he can fucking figure out one person, even though he can't do it, of course he can't. Of course he can't. Bob points out he's being held at like an elementary school to the south. It's within walking distance of the church. So essentially, Rick then sits with the group. Right, that's what we're going to do. Daryl and Carl are still missing, so we're going to hunt down Gareth's group. Abraham's like, nope. I'm tucking my tail between my legs. It's too hot. The way he delivers this line's fucking cringy. It's too difficult keeping Eugene safe in such a hostile area. So why does he think leaving in the middle of darkness with a kidnapped Bob is a good idea?
Yeah, this kind of gave me Walker vibes for Fear the Walking Dead.
Yeah.
It's just that I'm out here.
No, but... Right, so there's 3 of them as they leave. Rosita and Abraham against 6 members of Terminus who've got AK-47s. Yes, Abraham's a good guy and he's got good with his gun.
I'm not even counting Eugene as a person.
No, so it's 6 on 2, and he thinks leaving is a good option.
It's safety in numbers. If Rick and if Rick and this group have agreed to go with him, then shouldn't that be enough for Abraham to be like, you know what, we need to stick with him?
Yeah, I think this was just cringy. This was just a forced conflict within the group. Like, realistically, what's the fucking harm in waiting to the morning? Or helping them take out the threat? Taking out the threat guarantees your safety out of there. I don't get Abraham. Makes no sense, and he knows that this group could be crucial to him getting there. Him and Rick square up to each other a couple of times. Glenn then says, right, you know what, if you stay for more than half a day, me, Tara and Maggie will accompany you to Washington, D.C. So
all of a sudden, Glenn now is speaking for Tara and Maggie.
Yeah. So Rick's not happy about this, so Rick's like, come on, Glenn, you're splitting up the old gang. And at this point, look who Rick's getting left with.
Yeah, it's not, I mean, Rick's roster, if they all go, isn't great. And another thing is, like, you just don't feel like Maggie's really interested in attempting to even look for Beth. I think they've done a really horrible job here of Maggie's character.
Yeah. But it almost, like, say she was out with Daryl, right, and they headed after the car, it would have almost made no sense for all of a sudden, out the blue, caring for Beth. You don't think so? Either way, I think it doesn't make sense. Like, why would she all of a sudden care?
Shouldn't that be her priority now, though? Now that she's met up with Glenn?
Yeah. Like, why is she siding off on a Washington day trip when her sister's out there?
A Washington day trip? I think it's going to take more than one day.
I know, you know what I mean. A Washington field trip, whatever you want to call it, man. It doesn't make sense. But
yeah,
Rick,
I mean, shouldn't Maggie be like, no, what we need to do is we need to search the area and try and get a lead on Beth?
Yep. Tyrese, though, he's given a knife to kill Bob in case he turns. Again, Tyrese just getting these jobber tasks, and even then he's like, I can't do it. Freaking out, the sweat pissing off his fucking forehead.
Yeah, Tyrese can't handle it, so Rick's plan is, hey, Carl, you need to stay behind and make sure nothing bad happens. So Rick leaves with Sasha and Abraham,
Michonne, Glenn, Maggie, and Tara.
So there you go. That is it. That is the big bad group.
Four women.
Yeah.
Not quite 4 men, is it? I mean, the women are outnumbering the men here.
Well, that's
no, but is it not embarrassing though how, like, Tyrese, I know this was a part of their plan, right? But is it not embarrassing how Tara's being treated as a soldier and Tyrese is just like the nanny? I mean, come on, I think Tyrese has been fucking burning. I don't know what he was like in the comics, but no way he was this bad.
Well, hold on here. Tara's got officer experience.
Alright, Sasha then.
She's good with her rifle.
Point is, Michonne...
Name someone else.
Michonne doesn't have her sword right now.
Maggie's a tomboy that was basically the lead of the Green family. So,
all right. Point is, I think Tyrese, as a big black man, should have a gun or something. No.
Well.
Point is, guys, they're not going to last much longer because Gareth and his band of cannibals exit the wounds as soon as they disappear.
Yeah, they turn up hungry. They're at the church. They're wanting food.
There's 2 doors inside the church, though. And they're like, right, which one do we go through?
Gareth's like, this church ain't huge. We'll find you eventually. It's like, no fucking shit.
Then Judith begins crying.
No, but it's not like this is like Raccoon City or whatever and it's a big police station. And they could be hiding anywhere.
Aye. It's a church with 2 doors.
Yeah, it's like, come on.
And then when Judith cries, it's like, well, hold on, here was one of 2.
Then he acts like, oh, we found you. It's like, Rick, I found him. I mean, no fucking shit. They were either behind door number 1 or door number 2. And it wasn't like someone had a gun pointed at Gareth's head, like, you can only pick one door. If Gareth opened door A and they weren't there, then why wouldn't he just open door B and they would be there? I didn't get this. They made this out as if it was some fucking massive revelation that Gareth found them. And it's like, no shit.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it was, again, it's almost like, I always say, like, The Walking Dead just seems very comic booky. I know it's based on one, but it's things like this that make it a bit cringy. Albert and Mike, these 2 legends, go to open the door, but then are shot in the head, because as they turn around, Rick appears from the shadows, orders them to drop their weapons, so at this point, the hunters are absolutely snookered.
Gareth, though, doesn't take orders for Rick, so instead he just gets shot in the fingers. And
His index fingers fly off. His middle and index fingers are on the dirt. It's good night. He falls to his knees. There's blood pissing out his
could
fingers.
hit him like chicken skewers or something.
He could have. Martin doesn't kneel, and then eventually he does when Abraham steps at the shadows and puts a rifle to his skull. They all get down. Gareth then starts giving the sob story about it wasn't what it used to be. It used to be good people until they arrived and changed everything, Rick. And then he tries to convince Rick to let them go. I mean, how could Rick ever let them go? This is Rick Grimes. After what they've done?
It's not likely, is it?
No, I mean, the odds are drastically against you. It's a bloody sacrifice, I'll let you know that. But then Rick whips out his machete with a red handle. He's like, remember this, buddy? And then what do we get? We get Rick, Michonne, Sasha, and Abraham brutally murdering Gareth, Teresa, Martin, and Greg. You know what? A really graphic scene, but again, it almost comes across as cringy, the way like they're all doing it synchronized. And
it's lame as fuck.
It does. I think if they just shot the other three and Gareth is the only guy getting butchered, makes sense to me. Because he's like the leader, and it's Rick doing it to him.
I think it would have had a lot more impact. I think as a scene, it would have been a lot better if it was just Rick with the machete and he was the only one doing it.
Yeah.
But see the fact that you've got 4 of Rick's group butchering 4 of Gareth's group, it just waters it down. It dilutes it.
Yeah, it dilutes it like, you know, a bottle of Black Currant Robertson's, and you've got Abraham brutally murdering these people.
And it's all like it's in sync.
Aye, yeah, that's the worst thing about it for me. Like, see these things, it's too choreographed.
It's like watching WWE.
No, but Rick swings once, and then you don't even get to see like, Gareth really die. It more pans to like the other ones getting their heads squished with guns. Anyway, Gabriel opens the door and he's like, "Holy shit!" He's like, "What are you doing in the Lord's house? This is the Lord's house." Maggie's like, "Nope, it's just 4 walls and a roof." Very disrespectful to God, isn't it?
It is very disrespectful to God. Herschel would never appreciate that.
Nope, he absolutely
A man
wouldn't.
of the cloth.
A man of the cloth. Damn right, he would not have appreciated it. Then it's the morning after, and it's almost like we have to just forget what happened the previous night.
Aye, they're dead. Let's just say our goodbyes to
Bob,
and off we go.
Maltese at home, left outside alone. He's in the spare room, actually, Big Bob. He's behind door number 2. Behind door number 2, a Malteser.
I'm just not buying it. Bob thanks Rick for showing him, thanks him for showing him that there's still some good people in the world, but you just never really, I just never really felt like Rick cared.
No, Rick is like, let's just get out of here. Got nothing to say to you, Bob.
Bob advises Rick to take a look at Judith and to tell him that the world isn't going to change. So, like, 1 minute, Bob is thanking Rick for showing him that there's still some good people in the world, but then Bob basically takes all Rick's hope away by going, here, be careful. The world's not going to change. It's full of shitty people. Come on, Bob.
But no, I think he means it's going to change, as in it's going to get back to normal. I think that's what he meant.
He told him the world isn't going to change.
Aye. So therefore, I think he meant like, it ain't going to be bad forever. It's going to go back good eventually. So it's going to return to its original.
So people like Gareth, they're just a one-off?
I think that's what he meant.
Alright, okay.
It'd be a bit weird if he was like, shit, Rick.
Alright.
Anyway, Bob dies. Tyrese uses the knife. He finally steps up to the task. Bob gets buried.
When did Bob and Sasha actually get in a relationship, by the way? Can someone pinpoint the time? Because last season, whenever you got that wee group of Bob, Sasha, and Maggie, I didn't see a relationship there.
It was like a friendship.
No.
Did they get in a relationship in the fucking train car?
Well, there's not much time has passed since then.
Yeah.
So it's like, I think they've just done a bad job of that in general.
Yeah, not that I really care too much about it, but they bury Bob, right? Abraham gives Rick a map that says, like, the world's gonna need Rick Grimes. Sorry for being an asshole, that sort of sticking. You know what, it's kind of a funny line, but I think it would have meant more if he fucking said it to him. It's a bit cheap, a big man like Abraham writes it and fucks off. No, I think in terms of like TV, it has a bigger impact, the fact it's written down. But in terms of like a man-to-man thing, should you not have told him that?
If he didn't want to be an asshole, then why didn't he just wait till they found Carol and Daryl?
Yeah, it's just honestly.
But they drive off, and now Rick is left with his son, Shane's daughter, and Sasha and Tyrese. And I think that's it.
Father Gabriel.
In fact, like,
What?
like a bit black heavy here, is it no?
I know. Rick and the slaves looking after his two fucking kids. Rick, you racist bastard! And also he goes to help Tyrese help dig the graves. And there's two graves.
Now, who's getting buried here?
No idea. I mean, Bob's the only one I can think of.
Beth?
And
Gareth?
Tyrese says, "It killed me." And Rick's like, "No, it didn't." So, yeah, we have that. Michonne gets her katana back, who was in Martin's. And then, as she's grinning, she sees Daryl appear through the bushes. She asks where Carol is. Daryl's like, it's no Carol. And then he's like, "You could come out now. Who's it going to be? Is it going to be Noah? Is it another black man?"
We're adding to the roster here. Once you go black, you don't go back.
Yeah, this episode, that's where it ends. Next episode's Coda, so it's going to go downhill for here. I'm going to give this episode, I'll give it a 7 out of 10.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty good. The reveal at the end was we didn't really get a reveal, just Daryl returns, but we don't know who he returns with. Based on how it ended, I think it's fair to assume it was Beth that he's with. But then again, if it was Beth, then why would you say it's safe to commit now?
Yeah, true.
But then again, I don't know. We'll find
It's
out.
almost quite crazy, though, that Daryl and Carol got to Atlanta within, like, a day and got back. Well, Carol didn't. But does it ever actually show you Carol and Daryl this, like, time period, the day they got there with Noah? I can't even remember.
No.
No, so yeah, hopefully that'll make a bit more sense going on. But what are you giving it? I gave it a 7.
I'll give it a 6.
6.5 out of 10. Till next time. Peace.